Hello, everybody. So today's topic that we're going to be discussing is once again going to be related to anxiety, and it's going to be related to anxiety in crowded places. We talked about on the prior crowded spaces video what's going on in our brain and what's occurring in our body. Today's video is going to be how to get our body to calm down so that way we can get our brain to understand that we are in no danger, so that way we can stay in a crowded place without freaking out. And we want to start being able to stay in crowded places because we don't want to be institutionalized. We want to be able to move through this world like normal people. We don't want people to figure out, oh my goodness, what happened to that person? Why can they not go into Walmart? Why can my dad no longer go to my school play because there's too many people around? Why can't I go to the amusement park with my children? When people keep bumping into me, I get too nervous. These things are not okay, so we're going to try our very, very best to work through these issues so that way we can fully function as normal, free people out here in this world. So what we're learning today is breathing, recognizing the signs that we are getting anxious, and what to do with those, with our anxiety when we're feeling that way. So first things first, we're in Walmart. It is crowded. People keep bumping into us. All of a sudden, we start noticing we're getting shaky. Our hands are starting to get sweaty. Our heart is beating faster. We're feeling kind of faint. We're feeling very nervous. We feel like we might pass out. All these things that I listed are signs of anxiety. And when you start feeling them, the worst thing that you can do is ignore them. The second worst thing you can do is give in to them and run away. When you run away, you told your brain that it was absolutely appropriate to be that nervous and scared in that environment. And so then in the future, your brain's like, oh yeah, I remember this place. We need to get out of here. And the same thing is going to keep happening. You have now trained your brain to tell your body to get out of Dodge. It's time to get out of Walmart every single time that you go in. And then your world gets smaller and smaller and you become more and more institutionalized. And then that's never a good thing. So what we're doing is we're teaching our body to calm down so that way we can tell our brain that there is no reason to be afraid. So what we start doing, we start noticing these signs in ourselves. One of the first things that you can do is practice breathing. That might sound really dumb because we're breathing all the time. But if you've ever had a panic attack or felt anxious, there are two things that we tend to do. Hyperventilate or hold our breath. We either breathe too fast or we don't breathe at all. Both of those things, when we breathe too fast, we're not getting rid of all the carbon dioxide. So we're making ourselves lightheaded. When we hold our breath, once again, we're not getting oxygen in and we're not releasing carbon dioxide. So what we're doing is we're making ourselves feel lightheaded. So either way, this is not good news. So in order to go and slow down our heart rate to get enough oxygen, one of the first things that we can do is start paying attention to our breathing. There's two different ways to do breathing. One way is called the box technique. And what that is you breathe in for a count of 4. So you go, you hold it for a count of 4. And then you blow out for a count of 4. Then you hold it for a count of 4 again. And then you repeat this. What you're doing is you're completely filling up your body with air. You're taking care of that air, changing it into carbon dioxide, and exhaling it back out again. Counting also settles your brain down. It gives you something to focus on. Another one that I personally really like is you inhale for a shorter amount of time. So you inhale for a count of 3. Then you hold it for a count of 6. And then you exhale for a count of 7. And then you repeat that a few times. Once again, when you're inhaling for that short amount and then you're exhaling for that longer amount, you're getting rid of all that stale carbon dioxide. So you're telling your brain that everything is fine. Your brain is getting enough oxygen, it's slowing your heart rate down, it's slowing your nervous system down. You're basically telling your body there is nothing to be running from. There is nothing scary. And when you're telling your brain this, your body this, it feeds back to your brain. And your brain is then also being reassured that there's no reason to run. There's nothing scary. There's nothing occurring that needs to signal danger, danger, danger. There is no danger. And when you breathe like this and you slow down your whole reaction system, you're telling your body, you're telling your brain that there is no reason to run. There is nothing scary in your environment. Another technique to use, my personal favorite one, is called the 3-2-1 technique. I love this one because it grounds you. It puts you right back in the current situation. So it takes you out of the thoughts, it takes you out of the feelings, and it makes it that you can no longer think in your head, oh my God, where's the danger? Where's the danger? I got to get out of here. How this one works is you go and you name 3 things that you can see, 3 things that you can feel, and 3 things that you can hear. When you're doing this, the 3-3-3, you cannot be thinking of anything else. So as I'm scanning my environment and saying, I see a chair, I see a couch, I see a pillow, I hear the sound of my voice, I hear the AC, I hear a door slam, I feel the chair, I feel my pants, I feel my shirt. As I'm doing this, I can't be thinking about anything else. My fears, my body responses, all take a break. It's called a grounding technique. And with this, it's called 3-2-1 because you do 3 things, then 2 things, then 1 thing, and then repeat. And you do this so that way, once again, you're allowing your body to settle down. You need, before you leave the environment that's triggering all this anxiety, you have to make sure that your body has settled down enough, that your brain is no longer thinking when you leave that you're leaving a dangerous situation. You do not want your brain to get all worked up and actually think that it's done something positive by removing you from this situation. If you allow your brain to do that and you leave the environment that's triggering this anxiety prematurely or too early, you then make your world smaller because your brain, when it comes back in, remember, we learn. Our brain picks up patterns, our brain picks up different experiences and then puts them into the future. So if we leave before we calm down our anxiety, we have then taught our brain that we need to leave whenever we encounter this situation. That's why it's really important that before you leave this anxiety-provoking situation, before you leave a crowded area, you have to get your body back off of that high alert. You have to get your brain to calm down off of that high alert. Another technique that can kind of help you get back into yourself, some people find this one helpful, is they take a piece of candy, like a cinnamon candy or peppermint, something that kind of gives a little bit of spice, and they go and they suck on that when they start feeling anxious, and they pay attention to the feeling of that. They are able to stay mindful on the feeling of that candy, that spiciness of the candy, the flavor of that candy, the way that the candy feels in their mouth, all these different things. That's another mindfulness or grounding technique that can really help recenter, get your brain off of feeling all that anxiety. Now, another one that is also helpful is where you don't have to do the 3-2-1, but you can concentrate on one thing in your environment and then look at that one thing in the greatest detail ever. So say you're at Walmart, you feel anxious, you start feeling like, oh my God, my hands are sweaty, my heart is palpitating, I feel very, very anxious. You can go down the blanket aisle, pick up a blanket, feel the blanket, experience the blanket, notice the color of the blanket, talk to yourself experiencing that blanket. Say this blanket is soft, this blanket is green, this blanket is big, this blanket is fluffy, whatever it is. So that way you're getting out of your feelings and you're also slowing down your breathing. You're also being able to calm your nervous system down. And once again, what you're doing is you're putting yourself back in this moment. You're taking yourself out of those fearful thoughts by occupying your brain with something else, and you're giving your whole nervous system time to go back down to a base level. So that way you're not freaking out. Remember, the key is you cannot leave the situation until you are calm. If you leave the situation before you are calm, you are going to make your problem worse. Please do not make your problem worse. It requires more treatment. And that will be covered in another video because that requires a lot more intervention. So if your world has already gotten smaller because you have given into your fears and you have given into your anxiety, I'm going to have another video that goes over an exposure plan and how to go about putting one of those together. So take it from me, if you're at this beginning stage of just freaking out, but you still go inside the store, write out the freak outs. Engage these little coping skills, engage these breathing skills, engage these relaxation exercises, and then we don't have to deal with a whole exposure plan. But if you're already at that place, there'll be another video. Now, please remember to like and subscribe if you want to get notifications about these videos. Also, you can always check out my webpage. I have a website. It is www.imfreenowwhat.com. I also have a page on Facebook where I post interesting articles related to re-entry, and I also post uplifting little coping skills on a daily basis. And I also have an Instagram account. You can follow me on there. Once again, that's I'm Free Now What. And with that, it's once again helpful little tidbits, helpful little hints on dealing with your mental health struggles. And once again, please like and subscribe. All right, thanks.